audio clip in 5 years and be like, the fuck were we talking about?
Yeah, I know.
What are we?
We need to get a better atmosphere.
One go. Hello, boys, and welcome to the first ever SQUAWAD. Oh, and ladies too. You know.
There you go.
What about toasters?
Gotta have that fan base out there. Well, welcome to the first SQUAWAD podcast. You know, we got a main man Danya here. We don't mind saying anything. Oh, there we go. We got big schnozzle Dylan right here.
Yo.
And we got Nirvana tattoo Chance here. You mind saying some words?
I have a Nirvana tattoo.
Well, there you go. And
You didn't say some. You didn't say any words. You gotta say some words.
He literally just said he had a Nirvana tattoo.
Some words. I want to fucking hear you say it.
Some words.
Epic.
okay, so we really don't have a topic. We're just gonna see where this goes.
Just a bunch of teenage
Let's talk about
boys
music. Let's talk about music.
So,
What about music?
Chance.
What up, baby?
What to you is the most nostalgic song or album you think of? Not necessarily your favorite, just nostalgic.
I've never listened to albums when I was a kid, so none would be really nostalgic. But like for songs, it'd probably be like "Simple Man" by Leonard Skinner, or "Hotel California," definitely. Cause that's just what I used to listen to with my dad.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Funnily enough, I didn't even hear Hotel California until I was like 15.
Are you
But
15?
yeah, no.
What about you, Donnie? What's some nostalgic? I know like Michael Jackson and shit.
Oh yeah, but there's also like I discovered it just recently. To all my my African American brothers and sisters.
Dude, me?
Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, Wakanda Forever. Some of y'all might know Jasmine Sullivan. She's like in charge of like most songs, Mascara.
What's your first full name? First, middle, and last name?
What's your security?
Home address.
Mother's
Mother's maiden name.
What's your social security number?
249. 66.
But a song, a lot of artists that are nostalgic for me, mainly because it's what my brother would listen to. Because I wouldn't listen to really any music. Would be Papa Roach and Green Day mostly.
Green Day. What about you, Chase?
I don't know.
Nostalgic?
Like old Michael Jackson. If it'd be me.
Jackson
Like I grew up.
You know what
listening to
song's
Michael
really
Jackson.
fucking nostalgic for me? You ever heard that song "Cupid's Chokehold" by Gym Class Heroes?
Yes.
No,
that
I've
song
never
goes
never
hard.
heard any of those
Kind of
words.
sounds familiar.
All of those words are.
You probably
great
heard
to
it.
me.
It's just got a weird name. You probably heard the chorus. It's super fucking.
You know
good.
what?
But I mean, it makes sense to the song.
You know what song is like really nostalgic to me? Because they would always play this whenever we go play laser tag. It's like
I can't stop.
that one. No, it's like God, I can't remember the name. It's like, hey you. I don't
Yeah.
like
Oh,
girlfriend.
yeah.
That's Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
They would always play that
I
one.
remember
Go
the
laser tag.
The Just Dance song.
Yeah.
I used to dance to that song. A lot of songs
Dude.
I kind of like now are from Just
I
Dance.
remember back in the day, me and my old friend of mine, we would like, he had to connect with Just Dance on. I don't know why, we just play fucking Just Dance all the time.
I used to.
And it's funny because we would do the final countdown, and one of the moves in it is that you would do this like, one person would roll and the other person would jump over each other. But we were stupid,
You
uncoordinated.
did not have to do that at all. It would
You
not
could've
give
just
you.
swung
It didn't matter, but
It's not the purpose of
it
the
was
game.
connect, so it wasn't remote. But like, problem is we were both uncoordinated. I could jump. I don't think he could roll. So like I'd try and jump over him, and he just wouldn't roll right. He would catch my foot, and I would fucking fall and hit my head.
So that explains.
Is this why you're retarded?
Yeah.
Nah, it's probably because spending so many years with him. Dude wasn't smart.
All right.
You said you were
Very
smart.
grateful, Dylan.
What have you guys been listening to recently?
Ghostmane and Fat Nick and Pooya and Shakewell. You should go hit him up.
I think I will forever constantly be recently listening to Car Seat Headrest.
Yeah.
But something new that I've been listening to recently, I think would be fucking shit, I don't know. I don't know actually.
I've listened to a lot of like Black Party recently. I love Black Party. Like Bloom, or Black Party is my favorite song.
Oh, you know who I've been listening to recently? Fucking Little Sims. I know Danya
I love
likes
the song
her as well.
Selfish.
I've been listening to Suicide Boys from New Orleans.
Yeah, me too.
I've
Little
never listened to them.
Dabbling in a little bit.
Not a little bit.
A little bit.
Little bit.
I have been going back and looking for songs on like and putting them on my Spotify playlist of old like rap songs, R&B songs that I'd usually listen to in my car, my dad's car when I was like a kid, like old like Tupac songs. I'm just like,
I like
I
Tupac.
remember that song. I do love Tupac.
Like Tupac.
I always switch my preference between Biggie and Tupac. I like Tupac lyrically. I think he's overhyped. I love Biggie. He's got a really good flow.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. His lyrics are just
Corny.
Here's a good topic. What is like a genre or like type of song that you listen to only in certain situations, and what is that situation?
X is aggressive music, like Young Brad's or Rip Roach.
Like
I only listen to it when I'm like walking in the hallways at school, and I'm never, or like in a car with people I like, because we'll fucking like make the car shake.
Yeah. I think like the only songs that I usually listen to whenever I'm working on art is usually like either something with no lyrics or really lo-fi. So I only really listen to chiptune when I'm working because there's no lyrics, so I don't get distracted by it. And then of course I listen to a lot of like just kind of noisy, kind of emo shit. Like
I have a really good question.
or just depressing shit.
This is good to talk about. So we talked about this before, me and Chase. So if you were, if you were stuck on an island for a year and you could only listen or bring 3 albums to listen to, what 3 albums would you bring? Any genre, any artist, any time.
What did we say was our top?
I think I said Number the Beast by Iron Maiden, Kids See Ghosts.
Kids See Ghosts was one of mine too.
I think I settled on Taboo by Denzel Curry.
Yeah, I would go Taboo or Imperial.
No.
I would get tired of Imperial though.
Yeah, me too.
Taboo has variety for what you feel like listening to. I also would say Taboo, Kids See Ghosts, and
I couldn't do too much like hip hop or too much of any genre, so I tried to get it. So like I could probably do an Sex Party album. Like I don't know if I would do a cover album or one of the.
If I were to do Ninja Sex Party, I'd probably do Cool Patrol.
I think I'd do Attitude City.
Yeah. But if I had to choose 3 albums, I'd probably choose Garden Shed, Tyler the Creator.
It's called Flower Boy.
Yeah. Did I say that?
You said Garden Shed.
Well, I love that song the most. Flower Boy.
I forgot about Tyler. Fuck.
Mango by Black Party, and probably Thriller.
I think I'd have to change out Denzel Curry for Bastard by Tyler the Creator.
I like Cherry Bomb.
The new fans usually like Flower Boy and Cherry Bomb because they're softer, but from Bastard, Goblin, and Wolf for his heavier sets.
Yeah. I think because of the fact that it's for a year, so like repeating it, you have to consider the fact that how much you're gonna repeat it. I would say top 1 would definitely be The Mollusk by Ween, just because it's so varied, and that's because it's on an island and it's kind of a little bit aquatic theme, but also it's because it's got like Ocean Man.
I would get I would get bored of that.
Have you ever listened to the whole album?
Not really, but
I've
like
heard Ocean Man.
Ocean Man would be enough.
The songs are like very varied. Like there's some.
Well, that's another thing you gotta take into consideration is the length of the album. Because if you take an album like what's a good album that's really short? I can't think of the album name. It's by Counting Crows. Somewhere Under Wonderland is one of my favorite albums, but it's like 30 minutes. And the song, there's like 2 songs on there that are really long, so everything in between is really short, and that would get old. Yeah. So you have to take length.
My 3 albums, it would be Taboo by Denzel Curry, Kids See Ghost, and the first ever album by Big Time Rush. That shit goes hard. You cannot tell me otherwise. Every song on that album is a bop, and I would never get tired
Speaking
of that.
bops, now I'm thinking about Saturation too.
Saturation 2 is full of bops.
I want to start listening more.
I need to listen.
I love Queer and Bleach.
Yeah, I like
Queer's one of my favorite songs.
I really do like Brockhampton. I need to listen to more Death Grips and Tyler the Creator.
I feel like Death Grips, I said this a few times and I got disagreed with, but I feel like Death Grips is one of those groups where it's either you love them or you hate them, and there's really no, I kind of like a few songs. Because if you like a few of their songs, you're probably going to like the rest of their discography. But if you don't like their most popular songs, you're probably not going to like the rest of it.
I can see that. I hope the mic is picking up this luxurious sound of this.
Well, I mean,
I'm sorry.
I like some Death Grip songs, but then there's some that are just like,
well, yeah, that's the
what
gimmick,
the fuck?
Right? Because if you're probably going to like Guillotine and get God, because those are the easiest to get into. But if you go listen to Steroids or Hothead, or even
I do like Hothead.
Like Hackers, really.
Hackers
loud
also
on
very
the
good.
I really like Hackers. But I need to listen to more albums. I've only listened to like 3 of them. I can't remember the name. It's The Money Store.
And Ex-Military.
The one that I haven't listened to Ex-Military.
Ex-Military is one of my favorite mixtapes.
I know people were saying it's like their favorite, but I haven't listened to it yet.
I think it's the best. Well, because it's their first mixtape, and I think it started with Beware, and that is one of the greatest introductions to an album I've heard since Bastard or Goblin by Tyler, the Creator, because those two are fucking great introductions. Or I want to talk about some metal albums, but I don't have a lot of collaboration on that, so I won't.
Yeah, I'm not very.
So like, Operation Mindcrime is an album by Queensryche, right? And to have like it's a concept album, so it's all one story, and there's certain elements of each song that repeat, like a phone call, not really a phone call recording, but a low quality voice recording of a conversation, and it goes through the whole album. It's a great album, and it's got a really good introduction.
There's a moment like that at the end of it's like it's from Twin Fantasy. I think it's called Prophets or something. Something with Star. For the love of God, can't think of the title. I don't know why, but no, it's High to Death. I'm thinking of. Sorry, High to Death. Near the end, it's it goes to this voice recording of this woman, and she's talking about this like art concentration called like The Lady, and it's just like her describing. She's like, it kind of like fits the whole theme of the album, even though it has nothing to do necessarily with Car Seat Headrest, as far as I know. But she's like, it fits the album because she's like, oh, I didn't feel well when I started. It didn't feel well when I started painting these, and I didn't feel well when I ended painting these, and all the paintings were supposed to just kind of express that feeling, and it kind of describes like, it kind of helps. It really connects well with Twin Fantasy in the album, considering it's a recreation of Will Toledo's like first big album, like fucking back when he was 17, and now it's.
So what I was thinking about is like what. I want to ask, what's your favorite album, but we'll save that. What singer or what group has the best voice? Like, what voice, like, you hear, you get goosebumps. You listen to, like, it's, like, good every, like, Dan Avidan.
Dan Avidan's really good.
I've ever heard. Even from Skyfall, like, it's beautiful. It's fucking angelic. His voice gives me goosebumps every fucking time.
Definitely not Will Toledo, as much as I like him.
Who was the feature in Garden Shed? It was the woman. What was her name?
I do really like Tyler the Creator, but I wouldn't say he has the best
like
voice.
My favorite part of the
Tyler the Creator, it's not about his voice. I think
Unpopular opinion. I think the lead singer of Nickelback has a pretty angelic voice.
I've heard a lot of
so that's the end of the podcast.
Chase, you're no longer allowed in the recording room.
But here's a question now. What do you think? What is the least popular or least famous artist that you regularly listen to?
That's a good question.
I know mine for sure, but I'm
mine is Joey Perp. Found him in one of my Discover Weeklies, and he's only got one song with over like 1 million listens on Spotify. But like, it should be hard.
Well, I take into account like the modern listening of like people today, because I listen to shit like political punk that was popular in its time, but it's not so popular now. But so I wouldn't say that.
I mean, I guess I would consider. I guess the rephrase question more like the most indie.
Most indie.
Like the
Frank Ocean.
Like the least. Not this like the least well known.
That's a good question, man. I mean, I know local bands, but I'm not gonna say that because like that's obvious.
Someone who's like got something on like Spotify.
They have that relevance. Yeah, I know what you mean. What about you, Danya? You got an opinion?
I actually went to go look because I forgot her name. Her name is Raven Lene. I think I pronounced it right. She's pretty good. I don't think that many people know her though.
I think mine definitely. I think I'm gonna top all is Frostyn.
Yeah.
And he's this guy I've been listening to, or this guy I've been a fan of for like since 2015. He hasn't been making music, I don't think, from then, but like I started watching his YouTube content and I really fell in love with the stuff. And he's like even his YouTube stuff isn't that big, so the interaction with fans is like really close and personal. And then when I found he makes a lot of music, I found his Spotify and listened to it, and I really like his stuff. And like it's kind of like a close knit community. Like everyone's like he like if you can message him and he will talk to you and all this stuff. And he's like a really kind guy. He's so creative and I would say talented.
All right, that's enough dick riding. I think I would say
he's only got like 70 monthly listeners though.
I want to say JPEG Mafia, but I don't know how relevant he is right now.
I mean, JPEG Mafia usually does shows for like 30 people.
He has a very, very small or distinct audience.
Is he really small? I thought it was like a...
I mean, I think now he's... I'm gonna check. Can I have my phone? I think now he's getting bigger because he was on Taboo with Denzel Curry. And his albums are getting pretty big. And I'm gonna see how many monthly listeners he has. But I don't think JPEG Mafia is that unpopular though, so I'm gonna have to change.
Oh, how popular is...
Yeah, 1.1 million. So
how popular is Code Orange? Are they...
They're pretty popular, in that scene.
In that scene, but like in general.
100,000 monthly listeners, so that's not as big as I thought.
Yeah, it's not as big.
Somebody underrated. Fuck, I can't say.
Oh, you guys want to play over underrated? So just name an artist or band, and everyone agrees or disagrees on.
6ix9ine.
Underrated.
I think 6ix9ine. I think he's pretty rated. I think he gets the hate he gets because he deserves it. I think he gets the love he gets.
Kind of like in the middle for me.
Yeah, rated. I give it a rating.
Finesse God.
Underrated. Underrated, absolutely.
If I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if he's gonna be listening to this.
You won't.
I'll probably tell him about it. But, Finesse God.
And DJ Gap.
One of my really good friends.
DJ Gap.
Yeah.
It's
pretty funny. Every time I see somebody with a gap between their teeth, I call it the finesse gap. Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he makes music. I think it's like okay. He just has to like, cause usually when we're talking, he usually doesn't have motivation to like write songs. And I think he's doing good. Like he says that he's doing bad, but I honestly think he's doing good. He just needs to like put forth the motivation to make more songs, so he can feel like more comfortable with himself. I think that's probably what it is.
All right.
Foo Fighters.
I like Foo Fighters. Well, I kind of
overrated.
There's one album that I like. I can't remember for the life of me the name of it. It's got like a ray gun on it.
I have no idea. I remember the new album.
But that's the only one I liked.
I didn't listen to the new album, but apparently they're still making music.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not saying Foo Fighters make bad music. I think they're pretty okay, but I think the majority of their popularity comes from Dave Grohl. And if they didn't have Dave Grohl, they wouldn't be anywhere near where they are now. Because even in some of their albums, Dave Grohl played drums in the studio because he's an excellent fucking drummer. And he's a great vocalist, but I think similar to the fact that like rappers who die become relevant after the fact, like Nipsey or X, or even Lil Peep. I think they become more popular and then get the recognition after they do die, or in Foo Fighters' case, after Kurt died from Nirvana, Chris Novoselic moved on, but Dave Grohl went on with more music, and that's what got Foo Fighters where they are now. And I don't think if Kurt Cobain didn't die and Nirvana ended up breaking up or whatever, I don't think Foo Fighters would be anywhere near where they are now.
Would you say that the reason why some artists become more popular after they've passed is because they weren't really charismatic in life, or like they had bad reputation, and so people didn't want to listen to their music?
That is false.
But once they were gone, they didn't have to. They were able to separate the artist from the music more.
We talk about I know Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle.
He was a great man.
But I can say without a regret in my soul that I've never listened to his music or even heard him before the fact. And that's the thing. Like Lil Peep, I knew who Lil Peep was, but I never listened to his music before. And that's when it comes into account. Like they get more popular because they die. Because it's kind of sad, but when these small to mid popularity rappers die, they like the news outlets and music outlets want to push it to get clicks, to get views, to figure out who this person was, and then that develops their music, and if they push their music, and then their music gets popular. Not in the case of X. X was already in his like prime. I'm not saying he passed his prime, but he was in his prime during the production or after the production of what was the Question Mark album, or I just want to say Question Mark. I really liked 17 when it was released. It was like September 2017, I want to say, and nobody liked it at the time. Like nobody really listened to it unless you were like the only people who like diehard X fans didn't really like 17. But after he died, like that album skyrocketed with millions of listens, same with Question Mark, and like we can see it still right now. Like people are still pushing X's stuff just for the financial gain of it, and I think that's pretty fucking gross.
Yeah.
Like, even his own mom's doing that shit. Like, they're still posting on his Instagram, they're still posting on his Twitter, and they're just doing it for financial gain. Like, I understood in the first few months after June or July, whenever he died, I understood that it was respecting your artist, and he was a controversial person. I can get that, but up to this point, it's kind of just beating a dead horse.
Yeah, that's I will say though, I think some people are gonna hate me for this, but even before he passed, I didn't really like his music.
I did.
The first time I heard one of his songs, it was the one where he's like, I can't keep my dick in my pants. When I first heard it, I straight up thought he was a 12-year-old white kid.
Yeah.
Like, it did not sound good to me.
Well, I only listened to X way after Look At Me was his most popular song. So I'm not going to say I was an early fan, but I know people who listened to X on SoundCloud before he was even popular at all. I can't keep up with music like that. I don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
And I wish I did. I would love to support lower
well.
artists. So I do that with my friends who make music.
That's why I will always try and bring up Frostyn in every conversation, just because he's so small and so talented. I know, I will say though, I'm a little bit biased to him because I actually have him on Snapchat. So there was one time where like I wasn't really feeling good about the piece I was posting. I posted, it was paint, so it was shitty. So I posted, I was like, man, I don't really like this one. And he legit, like 12 o'clock at night, messaged me. He was like, dude, fucking, there is no, I love this shit. Like, what are you talking about? And stuff like that. It hit me hard, dude.
So you have a soft spot.
I do have a soft spot. I've been watching his content since I was like 11. So it's,
yeah, that's another thing. Like when it comes to
it hit me hard, dude.
Artists you have a personal relationship with, which usually isn't a thing that happens because people you have a relationship with probably aren't going to be fucking multi-millionaire rock stars, you know. But I still support them because one, support your fucking local artists no matter what they're doing. Just that people
like
need to get their name out.
Yeah.
Like Ain't Animates.
By the way, if you couldn't tell, because I haven't talked in an actual video in like months, I'm Ain't Animates.
Is that Rick Tater?
Rick the Raider.
Rick the Raider. Same shit, dumbass.
I mean, no, it's not.
Owlnator.
Why was it Rick Lovin'?
That just sounds dumb.
Rick Lovin'? That's so stupid. Alright. I don't know how we got off track. Over underrated. Billie Eilish.
Overrated.
I think she's overrated.
I mean, her music's not bad, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I do enjoy her music.
Call this a callback, right?
Hey, shut up. Not done.
Cincinnati.
But, I feel like the amount of 12 to 15-year-old girls that hype her music up is almost like the same kind of stigma that X got whenever the stuff about him beating his girlfriend came out.
That's not an unpopular opinion. That's a pretty widespread idea that the majority of her audience is. I don't know how to say this. I'll sound like a fucking arrogant prick.
Yeah, but she's not dead. That's the thing.
Okay, so I haven't listened to much of her songs, or seen much of her stuff, but I have
her
seen
music videos are fire.
I have seen that one music video where it's like burying a dead friend or whatever, and it was like kind of creepy, cool. Would you say how recent is that one?
That's like pretty recent.
It was pretty recent.
She just released a new album.
That's what the album's called. Like, it's based off that music video I showed you the other day.
Yeah.
That's
is a lot of her previous stuff just as creepy?
Well, yeah.
Or is it a lot more? Like,
she has that ominous vibe.
Ominous vibe. Okay.
And like, I mean, I understand why it's popular. I get it. It has this lo-fi tone, but it has like elements of like the female music, and that's another thing. I don't like I say I don't like female rappers, but I don't like female rappers who identify as female rappers. Like Young Ma, for example, she doesn't identify as a female rapper. She identifies as a rapper and pushes herself with other rappers in the same, like Pusha T, all these other people, and she puts herself in that category. Unlike Nicki Minaj or Cardi B, who put themselves in the female rapper category and want to compete with other female rappers. I think that's doing yourself a disservice, because if you're gonna, I feel like, okay, so rap music is clearly at the top of the charts and it's clearly dominating all other genres of music right now. So it's just putting yourself at a disadvantage to subdivide yourself into a category of this genre. So, and I feel like there are multiple female rappers that I've enjoyed that I just don't know the name of offhand, because they don't identify as female rappers. They're just rappers who want to rap, and they just so happen to be female.
Little Sims, the rapper I was talking about, I do like most of her stuff, and in most of her songs, she doesn't really identify as a female rapper. She just kind of raps. But there is one song that is very good, but she the whole time is talking about how she's like, fuck people who say that I can't be as successful because
that's
I'm
another
a woman.
thing.
It's a little bit pretentious, but
yeah.
it like the rest of the album is really, really good.
I hate that kind of that graping music. Like, you know, Russ does it a lot, J. Cole does it a lot. It's this arrogance they have about them. And if you can back it up, I understand. Like, I talk mad shit about Drake. I don't like Drake's music. I think it's too industry. I think it's too pop. I think it's ghost written. I don't like it.
It's overrated.
But I understand why people love Drake, because Drake has influenced so much of the music industry today, and he's had such a large effect on what other people are doing now. I understand why he's popular, but people like I don't know, man. Like J. Cole, like, he's not doing anything different. He's not doing anything innovative or new. He hasn't changed the rap game much at all. And people worship him, and he has this arrogance about him. And Russ is like 20 times worse than that. Like, you know, I went platinum with no features, shit like that. I understand you're good, but the more you boast about it, like, I want to go into your music with my own opinion, so don't try to make me think you're good, you know?
Well, I mean, if we're going by the standard of influencing rap music, just like Jay-Z over
Jay-Z was
Drake.
My favorite Jay-Z line is, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman," and that just certifies who Jay-Z is, because it's true. He's not just another rapper who's gonna, you know, be bankrupt in 20 years and be forgotten. He's a fucking innovator, and he's literally like, I don't, there's something so fucking great about Jay-Z.
Also, we can talk about Kanye. I mean, his arrogance is up there, but it's Kanye.
You can't
diss Kanye.
Kanye will be underrated until Kanye's underrated.
Kanye is very
Kanye
underrated.
is one of the most popular rappers, and I still think he's underrated.
Everybody hates on Kanye because he's friends with Donald Trump.
Dude, I think it's fucking funny.
It does.
Like,
if Kanye West is friends with Donald Trump and you don't like his music because of it,
separate the art from the artist.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
I get that. Wow.
Well, it depends. If it's something like, if the art that the artist producing, if like a particular piece is very personal to them, and they show that's a reflection of them, very personal to them, it's really meant to like particularly relate to anybody else or express themselves, and yeah, you would connect to them. Like, that's something
that's different.
But most art, separate the art from the artist.
Because like Chris Brown is a major example. I think Chris Brown's a fucking amazing singer, and I think he's a really good, you know, he's a good dancer.
But he beat Rihanna, and I don't fuck with him.
He did some fucked up shit, and it's not even just that. He's done more fucked up shit than
I don't care. He beat Rihanna, and Rihanna's too fine to be beaten.
People refuse to like Chris Brown just because of who he is as a person, and I understand that if you're listening to music, you're supporting him, like, as a person, but I feel like there should be, like, in just the degree of listening, enjoying, and rating music, I feel like you should separate the art from the artist in that sense.
Yeah.
But if you know R. Kelly made a song that was not an apology, but it was an apology about, like, dude, just fuck off, man, you know?
Yeah, at that point, by doing that, you are literally connecting your art to yourself as an artist. By doing it. So you're ruining your songs.
R. Kelly, he's an amazing singer, or he was an amazing singer, and he did fucked up shit, and he could have left it at that, you know? Admit to it, you fucked up, you did some dumb shit. Take your fucking L. You had your 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Instead, he just wants to milk it to keep his name on the fucking chart, on the news feeds or whatever, just to keep himself relevant, and it's not working. And he released a song, and it was terrible, and Word Out did a better version of his own song.
Yeah.
That's also like the Soulja Boy and the Soulja consoles.
Soulja Boy,
Soulja
Boy is irrelevant in 2008. There's no reason he should be doing anything now. Soulja Boy, guys, please come back.
Another like, this isn't really music related, but it's related to the topic, and like a creator whose art has been very separated from their. That's a good example, but I was thinking more of God damn, I just fucking had his name.
Not anymore, motherfucker.
You have to get back to me on that.
So, what's your most unpopular music opinion? Unpopular. doesn't always mean negative, just unpopular.
Big Time Rush still fucking slaps.
I don't think anyone said Big Time Rush sucks.
I don't think.
I
mean,
anyone
said
even
slaps.
as like a joke or something. Nobody said anything bad about it.
Yeah, but like, just be honest here. Who legitimately listens to Big Time Rush?
Well,
I don't think anybody does. Unless it like pops up in a meme and I'm like, oh, I remember that song. That song was
not
really good.
commonly listened to and not like are two different things.
True. So
Alright, hold on. I Lovecraft. The dude who wrote that Cthulhu, shit like that.
You know,
if you don't,
Lovecraft.
Because his shit is like created like a whole new genre, like cosmic horror for writing. Has inspired all these different things. It's super fucking popular. Dude's a huge racist in his writing.
Google right now, what did H.P. Lovecraft name his cat? Do you know what he named his cat?
No, I don't.
Google it right now.
Okay, but I'm gonna keep talking.
We can't say it.
Can we even say it?
But like the whole, it's funny because when you really look at it, you could maybe be able to think that the whole idea of the cosmic horror thing came from his racism because he was scared of black people because they were unknown to him, which is the whole like theology behind cosmic horror. It's like you don't understand them, which is why it's also scary to you.
Do you think
so? It's funny because the whole Cthulhu is black.
Yeah. Do you think that like should that be taken away from him? Like, should he be less credited for what he created because of its background?
No, because he's the creator of anything pretty much sci-fi or.
Not anything sci-fi.
I'm not talking like sci-fi horror. And like cosmic horror, yeah. Because well, I mean, sci-fi has references to Cthulhu in it.
It could
possibly, but
I wouldn't connect Star Trek and fucking Cthulhu.
Right. Why is it the first thing whenever you hit like sci-fi?
That's generally what people think of science fiction, you know.
Dude, you can think of better sci-fi things than just
Star Wars isn't sci-fi. Star Wars is a space
Spaceballs.
Space opera.
Spaceballs is funny.
Star Wars is a space opera, not a sci-fi. It's more because it's less about the science fiction, more about like drama. Like there's a lot of politics and shit involved into it.
There is a lot of undertones of
like
political.
Yeah, like that's the whole thing. There's like Empire in the prequels. There's the fucking the Separatists. And there's like,
but there's Jedi.
There's something so special.
Like the fact that the Jedi literally like are monk people makes it more like a more drama thing.
If you're gonna do undertones of thing, like the movie I think of when you think of like hidden meanings or like hidden messages. Yeah, you just read.
I found the name of the cat. Yeah, no, we can't.
They can't say that one.
So, audience.
Oh my god.
Do yourself a favor and look up when H.P. Lovecraft's cat was named. I'm sure you probably, if you're interested, you probably already done it.
But just call out for your cat.
What was I saying?
Wow.
Okay. So when I think of a good undertone, we're talking about movies, I guess.
Yeah.
When I think of
or anything really.
Good hidden meanings or good secret messages, not so secret, but just very, very undertoned and very, very like alive. Is Get Out. That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh man,
yeah.
yes.
And it's Jordan Peele is the greatest director of all fucking time.
I still have yet to see that.
Except I heard Us was
very bad.
I heard the new one Us was not good.
I heard
it was good up until they ruined it with the ending.
Yeah.
Like they should have left the
well, I don't know anything that happened, so you better.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. I just heard that they should have left the ending open ended.
That's what.
But they did something that made the. Like, instead of having all these different interpretations of the ending, they had it was one and it kind of ruined it.
That is
I don't know what happened.
But the thing about Get Out is, like, not only is it, you know, this, like, cool horror movie with a lot of, like, you know, secrets, like, you know, The Sixth Sense, you'd have to go back and watch it a few more times to really grasp everything. But there was such a dark-hitting, true political statement that that he made with that movie, and I think it's fucking incredible. I can't really think of anything like that because everyone else who tries to replicate that, not really replicate it because Get Out is fairly new, but everyone else who tries to do something like that, it's too obvious. Like it's too obvious what they're trying to do, and it ruins the plot or something the movie.
That ruins the whole, not even just the plot and the movie. It ruins the effect of the tone because by putting it in your face, people don't want to hear it. People don't want to listen to it. They're not gonna think about it because it's not in the back of their mind. It's right in front of their fucking face.
So they're like, this is odd.
They're just like, get it out. They're not It's
not subconscious.
Yeah, it's not swirling in the back of the mind. It's not making them think. It's making them react.
Let's talk about music that makes you think. Like,
that makes you think.
Is there any songs specifically that make you like really just sit down and like just like think about a certain topic that you really never thought about before?
Never thought about before. Okay,
I mean, not necessarily, but just something you never thought as deep about until you heard the song.
I'm gonna start off. You know, I'm fucking gonna reference Garcia Harris again, because of course I am. I'm like Lane, but with Garcia Harris instead of Death Grips.
Right.
Fucking Oh Starving has to be one of my has to be like, it's really cool because it has this undertone of, it's like the whole thing is about he's singing, oh man, you know, everything's kind of easier now, and I'm famous stuff, but it's like everything, I'm making a lot of money and I'm famous and I'm well, not super famous, but I'm popular now, but I have to be sad to continue that.
Yeah.
And he thinks back to times where he wasn't as popular, wasn't as famous, but he's also like glad, but he wasn't making this music because he was like normal, like he felt good, but once he began to fall in this bad mindset and all this, and he began to make music, it began to like rise him up in popularity. He made money and stuff, but he's like, man, I don't know if I want to continue to be fucking sad and shit. And he references, he's like, there's one line where he's like, you guys just want to see me naked, but it's not literal. It's more of, you guys,
you want to
like
see
he almost feels like
he has to be sad in order to create.
And it's also like it's also taking a piss at people who romanticize suicide,
right?
And stuff like that, which is funny because back in the day when they were gonna release that show 13 Reasons Why, one of the songs that they tried to get in was "Oh Starving," but Will Toledo, after reviewing like what it was about, said no because it romanticizes suicide, which is against the whole thing with "Oh Starving." Exactly. It's like he doesn't feel right because the fact that he's using that, not that he's using, but his sadness is making him money, and he kind of feels wrong about that. And that, so like the fact that fucking dude who wrote 13 Reasons Why, we're like, oh, let's pick that song is fucking.
That's another thing. It's like that song was clearly trying to take a jab at that mindset, and it literally went over the writer's head. They didn't understand it, and that just makes it so much better.
A lot of stuff went over those writers' heads. Let's be honest here. They kind of made that show very unrealistic, I guess you can say.
Yeah,
I don't think
they romanticize it.
I've never seen a high school type film or movie that was even considerably close to accurate.
I've never seen that. Like that high school in that show is nothing similar to high school in the United States.
Yeah, I'm gonna read a few lines from the song I'm talking about. It's like, I used to enjoy losing money, but now all I do is win. Now it's far too easy to be satisfied with things. I used to enjoy being worried, but now everything is fine. I wish I could go back to those unhappier times.
That reminds me, I don't want to bring up Nirvana again, but I will because it's a really good example.
Andy has a tattoo.
I do have a Nirvana tattoo. Did you guys know I have a Nirvana tattoo? Do you guys want to see my Nirvana tattoo?
Oh, yeah. Put it up on the mic. Put it on.
Wow!
That's a pretty cool tattoo. Put it on the mic.
Hold on, let me get a photo so I can put it in post.
There it is.
Epic.
But because Kurt Cobain, like, he didn't want to get big. He didn't want to, because he was just in Seattle. You know, he was living a fucking broke musician's life, like everyone else fucking does. And he made a few songs with a couple of his friends, and it got big. Like, "Smells Like Teen Spirit's the most popular song. And he fucking hates that song. He did not want to make that song at all. And it's so interesting to think about the fact that you create with emotion, and with artists like this, it's usually negative emotion. But once you get out of that lifestyle, once your song gets big or once your album gets big, you're out of that lifestyle. You have money. You can support yourself. Then you don't have to be in that mindset anymore.
But I mean, the thing is, when they say money can't buy happiness, even if you make a lot of money off your sadness, that doesn't necessarily cure it.
I understand.
And so like, it's a problem because it can be a problem because people love hearing you talk about your sadness, but you're trying to get over it. So it's like, you're gonna become more unhappy if you have all this money based, for putting out your feelings, but you don't want to have to put out your feelings again. But if you don't put out your feelings again, those same feelings, you're gonna lose all this money, and you're not gonna be, you know, you're gonna be even worse where
I feel like
you
it's
started. So it's kind of like it's a paradox.
I feel like it's the exact opposite in the rap industry.
Yeah.
Because if a rapper, you know, raps about having cars,
Everybody
raps
says
about
that.
like, if you rap about having money, like, people eat that shit up because that's what people want. But if a rapper, like, I'm not saying if you rap about your life, it's not gonna get popular. But people who tend to rap about, you know, just flexing, you know, people who just, those are the rappers that get big. Mm-hmm. And those are the rappers that get more, and then they brag more, and
they can keep going. They can keep bragging more and more.
Because when you're making music from emotion that's negative, like anger or sadness, you can get out of that. But if you're making money, or if you're making music about making money, and you make more money, that's just fuel to the fire. You know, that's just more to add on to.
That's why I feel like that evolution in like your music style, like if you go for the negative mindset, or even hell, even in a bragging kind of one, is important. Because I'm gonna talk about Car Seat Headers again, but because Twin Fantasy, Face to Face, or I think it's Mirror to Mirror. I don't remember. I think it's Mirror to Mirror, the original, back in like 2009. He did make it when he was more sad, but the 2018 version of it, the reason why he recreated it is because he is happier now. He's found his passion, and he sings them not as to like express how sad he is, but to like it's almost like a nostalgic. He's singing about how sad he kind of was, and sort of how he feels now. To think back, like, man, I'm in a much like better place. Like, I've had these feelings, I've overcome these experiences. These experiences I've had, these are what make me today how I am today, and this is what's got me to this. Funnily enough, got me to this good mindset. It's because these songs that made me sad and made, you know, express my sadness. So he literally kind of evolved. And he changed his style up, not a lot, but he kind of went from like, he improved his quality, he improved his voices. Yeah. He like changed some. He's actually changed some lyrics up in the songs. Like he in Cute Thing, the original, he references, I can't remember their names. He references these two artists that he liked back in that day, but in the 2018 version, he changed the lyric to say, instead of I wish I had a voice like whoever, and stage presence like whoever, he's like, I wish I had a voice like Frank Ocean, and a stage presence like James something. I can't remember the lyrics for the life of me. But it's like, that's literally like an evolution.
He switched it up.
Yeah, he switched up. And he switched up other lyrics, like the endings of parts, and and like in the High to Death, the original didn't have the reference to lady. Yeah. But the new one it does.
When you say evolution of character, I absolutely think of Tyler, the Creator, because when he released his mixtape Bastard at 17 years old, which is fucking incredible.
Really?
Have you ever listened to Bastard?
No, I want to listen to Goblin because I have an affinity for little goblin geeks.
Well, when he released Bastard, he was 17. He was depressed like every fucking 17-year-old. He was angsty like everyone.
Black man Toledo.
You know, instead of not doing anything about it, he put it in a fucking album, and people fucking loved it. And then 2 years later, he's 19. He released Goblin, which is one of my favorite Tyler, the Creator albums. I think it might be my favorite, and that's a great fucking album. And 2 years after that, in 2013, he released Wolf, which was a little less aggressive, a little less edgy, but still had that power. Yeah. And then he fucking switched it up, went to Cherry Bomb. That everyone fucking hated it at first. It was so different. It was so much lighter. You know, fucking young. Find Your Wings. Is Find Your Wings on Cherry Bomb or Flower Buzz?
Find Your Wings.
Cherry Bomb. Yeah. And so he only did that 2 years after he released Wolf. So people are like, what the fuck is this? And then he released Flower Boy. And
that was nominated for Album of the Year.
That took the whole community by storm. So if you listen to Bastard and then Flower Boy, the same person, 8 years later, at 23 whenever he released it, maybe? No, I don't know, I can't do math. But it's such an evolution of character, and I say I like Tyler's early albums because I don't like the soft sounds, or I don't like, because I'm not saying those albums are bad, those are amazing fucking albums, and the more I listen to both of them, the more I like them. And it's such a beautiful visual, just an evolution of coming out of your shell as this angsty teenager to, you know, literally finding your wings, finding who you are. And then on Flower Boy, it's even better. Garden Shed, November, and even doing shit with Jaden Smith. It's on Potholes. It's even in the Goblin intro from 2011, Kanye West was tweeting about him, and like he was making it big from there. And you know, he mentions Yonkers being his most popular song, and how he doesn't even like it anymore because it just got so popular. And then he comes to accept that, and it's just, I can't say anything other than beautiful, because that's what it is. Just watching him grow. Because I've been listening to Tyler since a few months before Wolf dropped in 2013.
He references that in Domo 23 about eating the fucking cockroach in Yonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that evolution is good for music, but you shouldn't force evolution.
Definitely.
Like if your music style is changing in a way that's working well, but you get to a point where it's like that's not how you're feeling, or that's not the kind of music you want to create for this particular album, or however, like you want to change it up, feel free to change it up. You know, like people are not gonna like it at first probably, but like you don't want to burn yourself out. Well, the thing.
That reminds me of what, I don't know what EDM artist it was.
You want to do how people.
It was an EDM artist, and he made all this EDM music. He made all this electric music people like, and then he released a new album, completely different. I need to find his name. I know Lane likes him. But he released a new album, and he was doing a tour for his new music, and people fucking hated it because he wasn't playing the classic shit that people liked him for in the first place. And he canceled his fucking tour. He's like, I'm not doing this shit. You guys don't want to hear what I have to make. You don't want to hear what I like to perform. I'm not gonna fucking perform. That's it. Because he got so much negative reaction at his shows, he just couldn't handle it. Because if it hurts to put so much emotion and time and dedication into one piece of work just to have it shit on, because it's not like what you used to do.
Especially if it's like a new emotion.
Yeah.
Like it's something like you
like
have this
an
new revolution. It's kind of like if fucking people started hating on Kanye because he came out as bisexual because it's different. Like it's like it's a new thing. Well, I guess not technically new for you, but it's like if an artist like, I don't know, if they just discover like this new thing they really like in music and they want to try it out and they really enjoy themselves doing it and they want to, you know, show that to their fans, but it was a big change for them doing it. It's like that's a new passion. That's a new like that's a new appreciation they've had for that new fire. And people don't want to accept that fire because they want to keep the old one burning.
Right.
And it's like let the man like spread his arms out and like do what he needs to do. You know, like if they liked what they were doing before, which if they evolved to that point, they probably did like what they're doing before. They're probably eventually gonna go back to that with a new mindset after doing something new. Like you gotta let them.
Yeah, you gotta let them.
And then you're gonna be able to go back and like the thing that he did when that was new. You know, it's all about you know, like letting the creative drive where it needs to go. Like of course you want to have it stirred in a direction that you feel is positive, feel that makes you happy. But if steering in that same direction doesn't make you happy, you know, veer off.
There's just something so
you're gonna straighten yourself back up eventually.
I go through Instagram comments a lot, and like on rappers pages, on music pages or whatever, and I was following Juice WRLD for a while because I really liked fucking I can't think of the album name.
Goodbye and Good Riddance.
Goodbye and Good Riddance or whatever. And I love that fucking album. I know every word to every song on that album. And I was going through his comments because I just like seeing other rappers who comment and support him. And I saw a comment with like thousands of like that says make more music like Lucid Dreams, because it was a clip of a new song. And they were like, I don't like this, make more like Lucid Dreams. And it just made me so angry because Juice WRLD is a relatively new artist. And that was his first album. That was his. I don't want to say that's his first step into music because I didn't follow him before. But that was his first major step into the industry, and people are already badgering him about what he's creating. And he's not even. It's not even like he's been doing this for years, or it's not even like he's been this popular for years. And it just goes to show like how much negative shit an artist has to go through, and find that motivation and dedication to keep creating what they enjoy, even though they're constantly badgered to make what other people like.
Yeah, and that's the thing about, that's the unfortunate thing about evolving your music, is that, like, if people liked how you started off, and they don't want to accept the evolution, it can create that kind of conflict. But, like, you know, it's not, like, because me as an artist, I can look back at pieces that a lot of people are like, oh man, this is so good, but I've myself have noticed my own evolution and stuff like that. And sometimes people won't notice that and they'll be like, oh man, this is all thing was good. I mean, of course not the same, because it's not like, oh, make stuff like more like the old thing, because it's not the same with physical art. At least not for me. But like sometimes if it's something if it's an evolution that causes something different, sometimes they won't notice the evolution. They only notice the change. So they don't really notice like.
They don't notice that it grew better. They just.
Yeah, they don't notice it grew better. They only notice that it changed.
Right.
Which is why, like how Donnie can do it. Like people probably won't say that, oh, go back to your older stuff because your older stuff was less practiced, less refined. But it's also like, I'm not gonna say exactly the same because it's evolved, but it wasn't like a drastic change, which is why people aren't like, oh, go back and stuff like that, because they've noticed the improvement with the evolution because it didn't change so much. It only evolved.
I want to
but it wasn't like a shit.
I want to get these two involved.
I'm about to say something. I was about to say every artist's audience are like the most fickle sons of bitches in the world.
Yeah, exactly. They change up.
They change up like it's nothing. If you release something that's complete garbage in their opinion, they will voice that shit and put you down, even though you put your heart, your soul, your sweat, everything into that damn song. And then they're just like, it's just fucking garbage. And then if they find it fire as fucking like the next few months, like you had already taken all that criticism, and they don't give shit a chance if it's new.
And I've experienced it myself with like I made a few songs in FL Studio. Nothing lyrical, nothing rap or whatever. I just made a few beats. And there's something so like mentally draining about hearing the same thing over and over and over again when you're editing it or cutting it, trimming it, changing it, and you just hear the same thing over and over again. It gets so old, you get tired of it, you start to hate it. And I feel like you can say the same with physical art. You look at the same thing, you're still drawing, you've been drawing it for hours, like I'm tired of looking at this, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And you lose motivation to post it or show it or upload it, music or art or whatever. And when people, after all this, like when you create something that you don't even like in the end because it took so much fucking work to create, and then people still don't like it, it's just so draining. It's so
yeah. And I mean like cause like there's that signal where if you create something based off of a negative emotion, like I'll just say this real quick, like with Car Seat Headrest.
Is that the seventh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna give you a fucking.
You need to put a counter. You need to put a counter.
I was gonna go straight from that to what I'm doing. Alright, because it's like, negative emotion, it was good, and then it got to a good emotion towards the negative emotion, it was good. Alright, but fucking like, with shit like that I've done with art, sometimes it's something that I had a negative, I didn't go in with a negative mindset, but as I was doing, I wasn't enjoying it, and I didn't have a negative stigma towards it, and it's like, I can't even go back and look at it because it was bad, and because it was bad, it said a negative emotion with it. And so, like, I have pieces in there that I fucking refuse to look at because it brings me back to the night where I was doing it where I was so fucking sick and tired of it. Like, I didn't want to fucking look at it. There was one piece that I had like a legit, like, mental breakdown fucking painting it. And I just...
Can I see it?
Yeah, I'm bringing it.
Alright.
I hate...
So, breakdown right here.
I hate this piece so... I legit wanted to die that night. Like,
you guys are about to see a mental breakdown by Schnazel.
Take a picture of it to put it on.
Yeah, put it on the screen.
Tell Donald nice things about his drawing.
And it's the worst thing ever because I have such a negative
Before he has a mental breakdown.
And I know how much I hate it. I know the pain it causes.
Please.
But then I show it to people and I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. It's like, but you don't know though. You don't know how bad it is.
Alright, we're gonna switch up the conversation after this.
Yeah, you need to switch it up.
Yeah,
It's all about.
We'll probably have to cut this part down by like a fucking hour.
I know. I'm
What were
sorry.
we even talking about?
I think we started on over underrated.
Yeah,
That's not
then
bad.
we only did about 3.
Yeah.
We did about
Do we
3.
even have it?
I am not sure. This is your house.
Oh, here we go.
That's a nice crunch that's gonna pick up on the audio.
I hope it
This
does.
is, I fucking hate this piece with such a fucking passion.
That looks like a pain in the ass.
Because I'm not good with paint. Let me go over this pixel I have. Because fucking, like, imagine me, 3 o'clock in the morning, exhausted as shit, frustrated because I can't paint, frustrated because I can't get that to look how I want it to, frustrated because the last, like, 4 pieces I've turned in last minute. Imagine me doing this thing I'm not used to, something I don't like, well, not that I don't like, but, like, it was not a good emotion. I got, like, really fucking, like, discouraged, really worried about my future, like, in art. Like, I was like, man, am I, like, this looks terrible. How am I ever gonna improve myself? Just like that, mainly because I was trying something new, and I was like, how am I ever gonna improve and shit, I like legit laid in my bed with it on the fucking thing, and I would legit like lay down, like freak out, get up, and okay, paint a little bit more, and then I would be like fuck, and just go lay down and fucking panic. And then I got to the point where I was like, I can't even fucking stand to look at the majority of it, which is why I did the big red balloon over top. But I just couldn't fucking stand. Like it has to be something. Like I didn't want to fucking go to sleep because I knew that if I would go to sleep, I would have to wake up and go to school to fucking face like everybody with this, and it was like the worst feeling ever. But unfortunately, I was able to make like a big revelation after that. I began to like really start to try and do everything more early and try and like do stuff that I love, because I wanted to get better at painting because I've seen a lot of really cool paintings, just wasn't good at it, wasn't having fun doing it.
That one of Danye was pretty.
That was really good.
Yeah, it was really
I
good.
wanted to take pictures of both of them for the podcast.
Yeah, but I remember because I had to take a picture of it and upload it to the AP site for the thing. I legit like postponed it as much as possible. I just could not fucking stand to bring it out and take a photo of it. I hated it.
I think artists like go through that experience at least like once. They'll be like working on something and it'll like take them a while. And like as like midway or almost near the end of them doing it, they'll look at it and be like, "What is this?" Or they won't like it, and then like they start to discourage themselves, and they start, like he said, he starts thinking, "What is this? This is gonna like, what is this gonna do for my future?" You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that, Danye?
I don't think I have. I mean, I probably was just like, "Oh, I don't like this.
Yeah,
I guess I'll just do something else."
But you've also had a lot more courage to like upload your stuff, and I would say that you've had, because you had a lot more popularity with your stuff, you had a lot bigger support group, stuff like that, and you're in a less competitive. I wouldn't say I'm in a competitive, but I'm definitely in a more not aggressive. I don't know. Like my stuff is being judged, like for shit. Like you know your stuff being looked at by a lot of people that love you and stuff like that. But mine, it's academic. Like it has to be. Good. Like it has to be. So it's a lot more like I guess you consider it competitive. I'm just competing with myself.
It's like it's all about who wants what.
Yeah, it's all about satisfying people instead of satisfying myself. Which is why I was glad to be able to do concentration, because I was able to like express myself a little bit more. But I still have to fucking cohere to some of the restraints of my art teachers like that. And wasn't able to just kind of do simple shit that made me feel good. Although my last one, I did absolutely do something simple that made me feel good, because it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I just need to finish something up. I don't really like it in the end, but I mean, like, I don't hate it because it made my heart feel good, because I was just like, oh man, I'm finally fucking done. It was really like just simple. It was just Sharpie. It was just Sharpie, just colored Sharpies, like really quickly. But yeah.
All right.
Fucking.
What's next?
Video games?
I don't know, man.
How long have we been going?
I think it's just over an hour.
I feel like
we could end it there.